Hello, everyone. This is my 4th of July message. I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to be of service and also wish you and your families, your loved ones, a very happy 4th of July, celebrating our country's independence and all the blessings we have here. Truly, I'm grateful for so much in our country. And every year at the 4th of July, I take a look back at the Declaration of Independence, right, which of course is actually celebrated on July 4th because that's when it was executed and signed by our founders. And we all know the beginning part of that. I want to make sure I quote it correctly, but in the beginning it talks about we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we begin with that, and we begin with the idea of it's so great that our country declared its independence from England. But remember what was happening back then. And I always read the Declaration because it lists out all these grievances that we had against England and its king for the abuses that they had in governing us as a colony in all of our 13 colonies, the original ones. And it's staggering to look at them and really think through what was happening. It's not just that we today look back and say, hey, we decided to become a new country and we got the fireworks, love the fireworks, right? But also thinking about the terrible conditions that were occurring, the terrible tyrannies, the terrible abuses, and the corruption at the highest levels of the English government that caused us to say, wait a minute, we can't put up with this anymore. We're endowed by these, by God, with these certain inalienable, if I can say it right, inalienable, which means they can't be transferred. Alienate means transfer in legal terms, right? We can't lose these rights because we have them, we possess them automatically. And in the Declaration, there are like 27 different paragraphs reciting abuse after abuse after abuse. And many of them, of course, we remember no taxation without representation. That's kind of the rallying cry in the Boston Tea Party and all that. So taxation, of course, was big, but that was just a few sentences or a few lines, one line actually in the Declaration. All the rest of it dealt with abuses of the legal system, having judges that had to be dependent upon the king for their salary, for their job. They'd had no independence, so they were totally, beholden to the king to enforce the law, which of course is improper. They should be independent. That's why we got the three-part system of government, the tripartite system, with the judges being independent of the executive or the legislature. And then you've got all these parts about quartering an army and having a standing army in this country and making us support that army that is then oppressing us and killing our citizens with no redress for improper killings and murders that were happening. So the army was running wild and we were paying for it. Even our citizens were being conscripted into service, taken hostage on the high seas in different ways. We also were not allowed to even create our own immigration law. So, right, so the immigration problems that we're facing in our country today go all the way back to 1776 when our colonies tried to regulate the immigration, and they were prevented by England from enacting any laws. Now we're sort of at a stalemate on what do we do next? How do we reform our system? How do we handle the immigration that's coming into our country, which so much of it is valuable, but we don't, of course, want criminal elements as well. So there's got to be a legislative process to describe what immigration policy is. And back in that day, the king prevented our legislatures from acting, and that's just amazing to me that that was a big debate back then at that time. So all these different things. The king also was preventing legislatures from meeting. He was abolishing local legislatures. He was making it impossible to meet, and he was taking away state charters and colony charters, and just it was totally arbitrary. So all these different 27 different offenses, you might call them counts, like if it was a criminal case, there'd be 27 different counts in the case, or in a complaint of a lawsuit, a civil case, you have a different count. Everything that's being done wrong, breach of contract, breach of the mortgage, right? Fraud in the inducement, right? specific performance, all these different areas that come into play. We recited them in the Declaration of Independence, and I think it's fantastic to look back at it and try to say, wow, we are so lucky. I'm so grateful to live in this country. I'm so grateful to our founders who had the courage to try to solve these problems, and for years leading up to the Declaration, tried to solve things peaceably with Old England. It wasn't possible, and we broke away, of course, in the Revolutionary War, and we're so fortunate that we did, and we've got this fantastic country that has fantastic opportunities for all of us, and even the right to own property, right? That's an important property right that comes down to us from Old England. So part of the common law and the natural law theory that we have in our country derives from that, but not the abuses, right? So the abuses abuse the natural law, abuse the common law, and it's just interesting to see how that played out. So God bless America. God bless you. I hope you have a great holiday weekend. Enjoy it with your family and friends, and enjoy the fireworks. I know I will be. Have a great weekend.